So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. Throwing after the interception, Daniels. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And I think we're all starting to wonder with this early deficit, what will that do to their play calling? Do they feel like they have to be more aggressive? Because they're throwing to start the drive here, but it winds up incomplete.
Now a 2nd and 10. To throw is Daniels. That's to McCaffrey, complete. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. This defense for the Niners, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Daniels from the gun on 3rd down. That's caught. It's Cunningham. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big play there on the catch and run, and it's going to yield a new set of downs.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They've needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Here's Daniels. That's going to be caught downfield by McLaurin. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Big gains in succession. Last one was over 20. This one over 30.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
They run with Cunningham, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And before the 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Throwing now is Daniels. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
So 3rd and goal, and the 49er faithful making some noise for their defense. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Fred Warner. The defense looked geared up to stop the run, but obviously, Charles, they were ready for the pass, too.
Yeah, they were hoping they could catch everyone crashing and playing the run, but that was a very ill-advised throw right there. The opportunity, lost.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. But the good news for them, they got the football. The bad news, they have to go 99 yards here as they start this drive out on their own 1-yard line. They'll come out throwing here on first down. He's up to the 20. Big strides, look at him go. Now look out. To the 20. Touchdown, 49ers. A big play there. Taking it goal line to goal line, 100 yards. And the Niners are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably...
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession. Score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Cunningham. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. Here's 2nd and 3. Now a timeout called for by the offense. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. They go play action. Daniels. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. You look at this Niner defense. They come into this one ranked number 17, so just starting the bottom half of the league against the pass.
When they lack in pass defense, they do make up for in run defense. They're a top 10 unit against the people trying to move the ball on the ground. But this is a passing league, so there's a conundrum for them. How do they get better defending the pass?
And he's going to have a Commander's first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6. To the air goes Daniels. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far. But on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Here's Cunningham. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. (21-0) our score after 1. Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
And now they're going to go for it. This isn't 4th and inches. This is 4th and 14. Daniels going to a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. And the 49ers are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line.
And when a team advances as far as they did, got over the 50-yard line, don't you think that drive deserved a better ending? I think he needs to get with his coaches on the sidelines, make some immediate adjustments, and that's what you do. You don't wait. You do it from series to series, because drives like that, that end with a turnover, that's multiple times they picked him off already in this opening half.
Now a 2nd and 2. And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll set up a throw.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
That might be the third down stop that they needed, because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt.
And Washington will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
Out route looking for McLaurin. He's got him.
And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington first down.
Let's go now.
Daniels looking to throw.
And his throw here's incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
2nd and 10.
Here we go. Here we go. Cowboy 80. Go.
Now Daniels.
He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. That'll put him right at 99 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
Ready. Ready.
They go with Cunningham. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Escaping the pressure right. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. Pretty nice gain on the scramble. Gets him 12 yards. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2.
Come on. Set. Hey, smash. Cut my team.
Looking to throw. Daniels.
And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown.
A 5-yard touchdown.
And the Commanders' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points.
Extra point right down the middle. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7.
Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have, and think back to our meeting with the head coach, and we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? He said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
That's complete to his receiver, Bateman.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. On first down, he'll drop to throw. This is Butler making the catch. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. A good down to possibly take a shot, and in fact, they'll come up with an empty backfield on 2nd and inches. Again, he'll drop to throw. 20! And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down. They'll look to throw again. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Let's go. Check go.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that is incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5.
70 range. 70 range. Ready?
Back to throw again.
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Counting down toward halftime on EA Sports.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
70 Lion.
Up the middle they go. It's Cunningham, and he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
2nd and 5. He stiff arms him. This is caught.
And the Commanders are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They'll try to run this one in. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Again, Cunningham here on the ground. And he is unable to get in. They stop him at the line of scrimmage. They're held again, and do we have a goal line stand brewing? It's 3rd and goal. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20 to the 25-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Here's a 2nd and 7. He finds his man complete. It's Cunningham. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Back to throw now on first down. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
To throw is Daniels.
Looking for his running back, and he's got him. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Operating from the gun, Daniels. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And into the end zone, a pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. Point after here coming up. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he probably wishes he would have sat on that one. Instead, he's only able to get this up beyond the 15-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 22.
Back to throw. Daniels. He finds his man complete. It's Cunningham.
And a nice job to break free of 1 tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. Play action. Now it's Daniels.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Looks like the offense is going to take another shot here. They're going on 4th and 13. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And they'll get to him just inside the 15, even after that strong run we witnessed.
So they cite the right guard this time with a holding penalty.
And so many different assignments you can have at that position, and sometimes you might just be a step too late and have to grab and hold on.
Now a play fake here on first down. They'll roll him out right. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco.
George Pickens.
A 16-yard touchdown as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
So it takes them just 3 plays here to find the end zone. And you remember, of course, this was all set up by their defense.
Yeah, they got the stop on 4th down, so I imagine the offense said to their defense, thank you very much for this great starting field position. And like you said, 3 plays later, they're in the end zone.
And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Off the play fake, Daniels.
Eluding the pressure right. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Now a handoff up the middle. Cunningham. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
This now a 3rd and 4. Throwing now is Daniels.
Under pressure, and down he goes. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs.
The Commanders went for it, but they cannot pick up the first.
And that will force a turnover on downs. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Well, partner, they've used him quite well out of the backfield in this one. And here's another nice example. They set up the screen, and he's able to pick his way downfield for a nice gain there.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And they won't be able to run another play. Time has expired on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Second down and 4.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Butler. And, he takes a shot at the end of that play.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. He's into the secondary.
And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown.
Romeo Doubs
from 10 yards out.
And the Niners have sewn this one up as they add to their lead here in the fourth.
Extra point splits the uprights. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And a drive that stalled out last time. Went for it on fourth. Didn't get it. How does that translate here? I would imagine momentum's with the defense.
Definitely with the defense, because anytime anyone goes for it on fourth down, that's telling you as a defense that you can't stop us. We don't think that you can. And when you actually do, that may put a little dent in the confidence of the offense the next time they hit the field.
Yeah, we'll see if they can bring that pride, the offense, this go-around. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10.
Here's Daniels. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
To the air goes Daniels.
Flushed out right.
That's caught. It's Cunningham.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
From the gun on 3rd down, Daniels. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. They're going to look to throw. Flush to his right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
He's starting to fall into the category of not fair, because when he's on target throwing the ball, he's dangerous. But when you add in his ability to make plays with his feet, almost impossible.
Yeah, exactly. They've had trouble stopping him in the secondary. This time they've got the great coverage. Oh, he can run too. 1st down, here's the run with Cook. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He'll buy some time right. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
At this point, this offense feels like they could just roll out anything, and it would work. They are certainly in no hurry for this one to end, not when they can rack up some stats and continue to add to their lead.
Here we go.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1.
47 yards rushing for him now to this point.
That's a great run right there on first down. Didn't quite get into the end zone, but now you've set yourself up for at least 2, maybe 3 more shots from close range.
They'll try again, and this time he's into the end zone for a 49er touchdown. So the rushing touchdowns continue to stack up, CD. That now 15 for him on the year.
And give him a ton of credit for staying healthy, being a smart runner, and it's showing just how important he's been to his team. He's got to be their MVP at this point in the season, and those votes may have been turned into league MVP votes when it's all said and done.
Well, trailing here in the fourth quarter, and that personal foul, that only adds to the hole that they're currently standing in.
Yeah, absolutely a bad job of just losing your cool and letting your anger take over. Mistakes like that, not going to help you at this stage of the game.
And with a well-placed kickoff, that's what these new rules can do for you, as he'll be backed up to start this drive.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
So it's Commanders football as we get back to it.
They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score.
2nd down in the yard.
79 Bronco. Get up. Left wing 19.
Looking to throw. Daniels. And my goodness, another interception. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense will very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal.
You know, when this offense gets down here near the end zone, they're going to turn to their bell cow, and this guy's been a touchdown machine all year. Excellent job stopping him there on first down.
Ready.
They'll try to run this one in. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts,
as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. And I guess not content to get another 3 here late. They'll try to add 6 more as they go on 4th and goal.
Bring it. Unlock line. Unlock.
They'll try and run for it. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. They gave it to him in search of his 3rd touchdown, but he's denied.
And Washington is able to come up with a goal line stand.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
So the victory here for San Francisco, and it was a game where they were off and running in the first quarter, Charles, and never looked back.
You know, partner, after a while, we always say the same thing.